This review of Killer Joe is brought to you by Stream Master Anal Douches because nasty little surprises are no fun. And also Slurpees. So, Killer Joe. We start the movie by being introduced to Chris. Early 20s, looks to make easy money and really isn't good at doing it. See, he's the kind of person who goes after easy money and ends up getting raped by the system. So the situation he finds himself in is he's out $6,000 with a drug dealer because his girlfriend stole some cocaine from him, which she ended up selling herself. So Chris is like he's really paranoid, but too trusting at the same time. Now the people he ends up trusting, he ends up getting fucked over by them all the time. And so he lives with his father, Ansel, and his mother-in-law, Charlotte, and his sister, Dottie, in a trailer. So Ansel works in a metal shop, not very intelligent, not able to detect people's motivations very clearly, unless it's spelled out explicitly. And unlike at least my stereotype of a lug or a grunt, it's like he's very passive. Now, I think I read one review for this movie which described him as a failed patriarch, and I think I understand that. It's like he's someone who's supposed to be the head of the household, but he never actually makes any decisions, so he lets everyone else walk all over him. Primarily his son Chris and his wife Charlotte, second wife. So Charlotte, she's a bit of a slut and she's a bit of a schemer, but she can typically get away with it because she's smarter than Ansel. But she's not smarter than Killer Joe, who Chris ends up hiring to kill his biological mother for the life insurance money to pay the drug dealer back. So Dottie, I don't know exactly what happened to her in her childhood, but she lives in her own special place most of the time. And Chris is very strangely protective of her, too. Like, there's like some creepy quality to it. There's like some weirdo vision dream thing at the beginning of this movie, and it's like, what am I looking at? So, I've kind of outlined the bare plot of the movie, and it's outlined in the first 5 minutes, so I'm really not spoiling anything. An observation about it's like Killer Joe. It's like he's amoral and he can be ruthless, and it's like the level of violence which he's willing to go to is just completely unrelenting. But ultimately he's as emotional and impulsive as this family. He's just able to get away with it most of the time, which he needs to do for his job. Because he's more intelligent than they are, and it's like this family, it's like they would certainly have the potential to be little individual Killer Joes if they were smart enough. But the impulsiveness gets in the way of Joe's professionalism, and to increasing degrees throughout the movie. And it's a little convenient that this seems to happen in the context of the movie's plot line, and that something like this didn't happen in the past, cataclysmically, but I'm willing to forgive that for the sake of the story. Another thing about this movie is like, even though it can get extremely violent and disturbing content, it's like it probably deserves the NC-17 rating it got. It's very darkly funny. Darkly funny. Probably something which I would describe it similar to would be, a Coen Brothers movie. So I've heard comparisons to, Blood Simple and, Killer Joe being compared to, the killer in that movie played by Emmett Walsh. I don't know if I'd make such direct allusions. But, the star of the show, it's the individual performances, and they're all excellent. And I liked Thomas Hayden Church, who played Ansel, and Matthew McConaughey, who played Killer Joe in particular. You know, Thomas Hayden Church is just he can be really hysterical in his it's like his bluntness. You know, his bluntness about it's like what fucked up situation he's kind of found himself in. And but yeah, the star of the show is like he would have gotten award consideration if this movie wasn't so disturbing. Was Matthew McConaughey? It's like this is the rom com guy, turned into like Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. I didn't think he had it in him, to be honest. So it's a lot of fun. Expect to be grossed out and expect to like laugh a lot at the same time. It's like this really lurid, trashy, exploitative, kind of fun little trifle thing, which can kind of make you think a little about the morality of the characters at the same time. So, yeah, good movie.